Okay, the items that we're going to need to start are safety glasses. We're going to need a push stick. You can either use this one or this one preferably. You're going to need a piece of wood with one side that's been jointed. Running it through the bandsaw is not good enough. You need an absolutely straight edge to start. Finally, you're going to need a riving knife or a blade guard properly installed into the table saw. First, we're going to talk about table saw safety. The table saw is made up of three components: a table, a fence, and a blade. You must use all three of those items appropriately or it can be very dangerous. You want your wood to sit flat on the table, up tight against the fence, with a straight edge on one side, and you're going to push your wood all the way through. If you do not have a straight edge on one side, you cannot use the table saw. You must first take it to the joiner, because the job of this table saw is to make one side parallel with the other. And if you put a curved piece up against this fence, it's going to create a pinch point and it's definitely going to kick back. Kickback is caused when a piece of wood is lodged in here and it's unsupported, and what happens is the blade will grab that piece of wood and it will throw it back, and it will throw it back very hard enough to put it through a brick wall. So we want to avoid that at all costs. Kickback is the #1 cause of table saw injury. Where most people think it might be cutting off your finger, it's actually kickback. So be very cautious about this. The appropriate technique to cut something on here is make sure you first have a jointed edge, not a rough edge. This is a rough edge. You do not want this. You're going to have a jointed edge. That jointed edge will go up against the table saw fence, and you will push all the way through. The appropriate procedure to start the table saw is first, I want to get my fence set to the appropriate dimension. There's a scale here located to the right side of the table saw, and I'm going to set my blade to the appropriate height. That is correct. I will flick this primary switch on, and I will wait for the lights to go through its procedure. Now it's green, and I can start the table saw by pulling this paddle switch out. And you can turn it off with your knee. The paddle switch is designed to be turned off with your knee so that you can have both hands available on top of the saw at all times and you don't have to reach underneath. So try to get into the habit of using your knee to turn off the table saw.